So, you guys been asking me to reveal what my workout plan is. So, here it is. I have a tracker. I'm gonna link it in the description. But it's a progressive overload tracker, and if you're trying to start working out, you've got to understand what the concept of overload is. So, progressive overload is essentially the idea that your workouts will get harder over time. So for me, I do it every 3 weeks. I go up in weight or I go up in reps. As long as I'm staying close to failure on either of those, it's fine. So if you wanted like an example, I believe that you should go up in weight or reps every 3 weeks for each of your workouts. So hence why we need the tracker, because you won't remember how much weight you did last week or how much weight you did the week before. So you're gonna want to have a tracker. So as you can see, this is my split, and a split is how you split up your body parts on separate days. So my day 1, I do an arms and chest. Day 2, I do legs and core. Day 3, I do back and shoulders. There's another split that's pretty common, probably more common than this. It's tri and chest, legs and core still, and then back and bi plus shoulders. Current split, I have tricep cable push down and overhead tricep extension. Those are my 2 tricep exercises. And but in contrary to the back and bi, chest and tri splits, I work arms on one day. People probably wouldn't recommend it. I just do it because I feel comfortable doing that. But so I have 2 tricep workouts. Then I hit I think 4 chest workouts. Pec deck for inner chest. Bench press it's not the best chest workout. It's more like just a checking of strength. I just do it because I'm working towards 225. I gotta get in the motion, gotta get stronger with that motion. But I do bench press. Then I do incline bench for upper chest. Then dumbbell chest press. It gives me more stretch on my chest, rather in contrary to bench press. Because bench press, you're holding the barbell, you won't stretch as far as if you were using dumbbells, so you go all the way back. So that's why I have that in there. People probably wouldn't recommend it. I just do it. That's how I like it. So, but I have 2 tricep workouts, the bench press and the dumbbell chest press. Both work triceps, so that's why I don't have 3 tricep workouts. But then for biceps, I work dumbbell curls, really good. People can use barbell curls, but I don't usually use barbell curls. Barbell curls allows you to use more weight. However, dumbbell curls allows for muscle symmetry. Plus, it lets you use each arm rather than, because there's a chance when you're doing a barbell curl that you're using one arm more than the other, and that just messes up your symmetry and also makes one arm stronger, because we all know your dominant hand is going to be your strongest hand no matter what, but you want to even it out as much as possible. Same with hammer curls. Hammer curls works the bi part of your bicep. It's mainly for aesthetics. It's also really good. It's a good exercise because it makes your biceps look fuller at the end of the day. And then I have curl machine. The curl machine is the preacher curl machine because we don't have a preacher curl thing. It's good for biceps. I use the machine only because it's more stable, and I always hit the motion correctly. So that's that's my arms and chest split. One thing you want to keep in mind, if you are a newer lifter, a lot of the chest, you might be wondering which one's better, free weight or machine. So if you're a newer lifter, you haven't built up the stabilizer muscles, which you would build by doing dumbbell chest press, in contrary to machine chest press. that you're gonna want to start off with machines. That way you make sure your form is correct, and then over time, as you keep your form correct, you can switch over to free weight, or you can stay machines. There's nothing wrong with doing machines. It's just that working with the free weight helps build your stabilizer muscles. However, if you do it wrong and you feel yourself doing it wrong, go to the machine, because you're better off doing a workout with correct form rather than just doing heavy weight with a free weight. So that's my arms and chest thing. Those are my recommended workouts. I've gone through a couple. I used to do like Arnold press, stuff like military press, stuff like that. These are what I think, in my opinion, are my favorite ones. And if you see here, you can see how many reps I'm doing of each. A lot of the bench press and incline bench and dumbbell chest press, those workouts you're gonna want to do less reps, higher weight, because it just works your muscles better. And for tricep cable pushdown, for a lot of the cable stuff, you normally want to do higher reps, lower weight. But for any workout you're doing, the reps really don't matter as long as you're working close to failure by the end of it. If you're not if your last rep isn't your hardest rep, then you either have to up the weight or up the reps. And if you have to be working to failure, the target reps, it doesn't really matter. People consider the 8 to 6 range the sweet spot for maximum growth. But it doesn't really matter as long as you're working to absolute failure at the end of the day. Because if you're not working to failure, then your weight's probably just too light. So then we go to legs and core, day 2, which your legs have a lot of parts, obviously, and you want to do as much legs as possible on one day. So I have 7 movements, I believe, on this. I got leg press, leg extension, leg curls, squat, so barbell squat, calf raises, and that's about it. So leg press, really good workout. You can substitute it for squat at some case, but squats are one of the best compound workouts in my opinion. So when you're doing leg press, you can either use the one that you're sitting down and pushing on, or you can use the one where it's the sitting. There's a couple leg presses, but leg press, good workout. It works your quads really well. And same with leg extension. Leg extensions isolates literally your quads. It's really good. It feels weird when you first start doing it, but over time you'll get used to it. The shaking and your muscles quivering is normal. At least that's what I've learned. And then leg curls for hamstrings, obviously. You gotta work your hamstrings and your glutes. That's why I do leg curls. Squat, really good compound lift. It works a lot. It helps quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, your calves, your hip flexors, cores, all that, and lower back. So that's why I do it. It's a really good compound workout, especially for lower body. Then your calf raises. So I know many people don't have a calf raise machine, but you can do calf raises on the Smith machine. If you have a plate, you have a box, or you have a platform of a kind. And I like to stay in the lower half of my calf. So from this to this. So this is my calf when I start, and then I go down, then back up. I don't do the full thing because the lower half I feel works the same, and it's just easier to go to past complete failure on there. So that's why calf raises are good. Then I'm gonna get into the core part. So Russian twist to work your obliques. It's good. The obliques are the side part of your core. It's a good exercise if you do it correctly. Whenever you're doing it, you're gonna want to have to look down to the side of the ball. So whenever you're turning, you look at it. That way you're doing the most stretch, and because you don't want to be staying looking forward while you're doing Russian twist, you're just not gonna work as much as you could be. So you're gonna want to look in the direction you're turning and do that for the full thing. Then we go to, I do knee tucks for lower abs. Yes, they exist. Knee tucks are good. You can do them hanging. Hanging requires some grip strength. Your grip usually gives out pretty quick. If you have straps or something, it probably will help a lot. But knee tucks, you can do them on the floor too. You just lie down, you hold your back up, and then you push your legs forward and backwards, and it should work your lower core. I like doing crunches. Some people don't do it, but I think crunches are a really good way for the upper core, and I do them. I do 20 reps and 25 reps and until failure. When you're doing crunches though, you want to make sure you're not using your legs in any way whatsoever. So you're pushing purely with your core. I can get it if you're just starting out and you have to use your legs, but you're gonna want to either put a plate on your feet, or you're gonna want to try to not use your legs as much as possible and just use pure core. Trust me, you'll know the difference between using your legs and using your core, because it'll burn a lot more if you use only your core. Bicycle twist crunches, all around a great exercise. It hits pretty much every part of your core. It hits obliques because you're twisting, the crunches because you're going up, and lower because your legs are straightening out. Then hip thrust. Hip thrust hits like every single part of your hip area. So your glutes, and your hips. It's a really good exercise. It's a bit awkward to set up, but once you do it, you feel it if you do it correctly. All of these, again, same thing. You want to go until failure, and you want to be tracking how often you're doing them and how many reps you're doing on each. And like I said, every 3 weeks you're gonna want to either go up in reps or up in weight. So then we go to back and shoulders. My first exercise is deadlift. Great for lower back and a good compound exercise. It works a lot of things. I do 8-6-4-4 because I normally go heavier on that. Again, you just want to make sure you're going complete failure. But deadlift, probably my recommended back exercise. Then I don't use the machine shoulder press. You can if your form's slipping, but I don't typically use it. But I do dumbbell shoulder press. It's pretty simple. You just prop it up. Whenever you're getting the weight up to your shoulders, it's a bit tricky. You're gonna want to have to put the weight on your legs. Then you want to swing up. So you put them on. You don't have to push them on your legs. You can go from floor to up. I just find it easier if I push from my legs and I swing up. Then you swing up into the form, then you start going. And just make sure your form's straight and you're not slipping in your form. So I recommend doing it in front of a mirror if possible. That way you can check form, make sure you're not doing it wrong. Because if you're doing it wrong, you can injure yourself. But after that, lat pull downs. Pretty common exercise. It's good. There's many ways to do it. I know there's people that do the reverse lat pull down, so they have the bar behind them and then they pull back. But I honestly like a normal lat pull down where you're just like, you have it, you pull back, and then you go up. And you shouldn't be ashamed of moving back and forth whenever you're doing it. Just as long as you're not using momentum to pull it down, that you're actually using your back to pull it, and you're fine. You can move back and forth just a little bit. Make sure the straps by your legs are secured. If they're not, you're gonna be moving a lot, and it's just not gonna be working as much as you could be. Lateral raises. good shoulder exercise. It's whenever you have the weight and you go to the side. You don't typically need to use heavy weight on this. I know, one, because it's really hard. Two, because it's a shoulder exercise. It's more, I use 15s and 10s. It's fine. You just have to hit a decent amount of reps. Should be a lot higher reps compared to the other things you're doing, and all the reps should be the same. So you shouldn't be going up in weight like the pyramid structure, which you do for a lot of exercises. You should just be hitting the same amount of weight. And same with frontal raises, pretty simple, similar to lateral. You just move forward. Pull up, really great exercise. It works a lot of your back. I use the weighted pull-up machine because I can't yet use the actual pull-ups, like free weight pull-ups. So, but a lot of people use the grip that's directly like this. I like using the wide grip. That way I feel the stretch a lot more in my back. So it's really up to you. It's up to preference. Low row, this is the cable row. The main thing for this, you're gonna want to make sure you're not going too heavy, that your form doesn't slip. But also, you can move back whenever you're rowing like this, but try to keep it straight as possible. So you want to engage your shoulders and then move it back. Delt fly. A lot of people don't do delt flies, and I think it's weird because delt flies are really good exercise. It's normally where your pectoral fly is, so your pec deck, and then you move the top thing back, and then you can do it like that. You don't have to go all the way back. You just can keep it until you're like straight across. Then shrugs for the trapezoids. You just have to grab it, you lift it, you engage your shoulders like this, and then you lift up. So you want to push your shoulder blades up and back and then down, and then you just shrug up. You don't have to go super high like this, and you shouldn't need to scrunch your neck. You just go up like that. It works your traps pretty well. Then dips for shoulders, and it also works triceps at the same time. Also a really good exercise for growing your arms. It's one of the best, I believe. And I don't use the weight. I don't use the assisted one because I don't need it. But you can if you're doing them well and you can do them pretty good, and it's not like getting hard for you at all, you can use weight, like a weight chained around you and then down. But if you're just starting out and you can't do them, you can use the assisted one. There's nothing wrong with it. I used it when I first started out. So yeah, that's about everything. That's all of these. Again, same thing. You're gonna be working close to failure on the first few reps, then you full failure on last. Don't be doing so much in your first exercise that you burn out for the rest of your exercise though. That's another thing. If you're pushing like super hard on your very first exercise and you just can't do the rest of your exercises, that's just not good for you, and it'll make the rest of your exercise less efficient. But overall, that's the exercise I do. You don't have to follow them. Do your own research. Figure out what your goals are. Figure out what split you want. Again, my split's weird. It's arms, chest, and back and shoulders. People like to do chest, try, back, bi. But it really just depends on what you're doing. And make sure, on top of all of this, hit your rest days. Rest days aren't like... You can't skip your rest days. If you don't rest, you're not going to grow any muscle, because your workouts are just going to be less and less efficient, and your muscles need time to recover. And I don't suggest hitting bench press every single day of your life. Like, you have to give your muscles time to recover. I think it's a 48-hour period between each workout is recommended. So each body part, like let's say you work chest on one day, you want to have at least 48 hours in between until you work it again. I have 72 hours in between each of my workouts, so it gives me enough time to rest. Just make sure you're tracking how many reps you're doing, how much weight you're doing each week, And remember, progressive overload, like everyone's saying, it's you making your workouts harder over time. So you're gonna wanna have to make sure that you're slowly ramping it up. I have one weight I start out with, then every 3 weeks I see how it's feeling at the end of those 3 weeks. Then I go up in weight or I go up in reps. For a lot of things like dumbbell curls, you can't really go up in weight because a lot of gyms don't have a 2.5 in between because it's gonna be like, it'll feel like easier because a 35 to 40 pound jump for a dumbbell curl is a lot. So what I would suggest is just upping in reps, and that's about it. So just stay consistent, make sure you're tracking progressive overload, make sure you're doing your workouts right, and trust me, it's not that hard. You will grow no matter what. It just depends on how quickly you can grow, and just make sure you don't injure yourself. So like if you're starting out on a bench press, you're trying to hit a PR but you feel something's wrong, like it's the weight's heavy or something, don't try to exert yourself too much. You have to push that aside, and at the end of the day you can always hit it later. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and tell me if I should do more videos like this because this was kind of fun.